So here's what happened to Israel. 1 Kings 11. Solomon's got about, close to 1,000 wives. And he starts building places of worship to their pagan gods. So Jehovah, God, splits the kingdom of Israel in two. The southern kingdom was Judah and Benjamin, and the other 10 tribes were the northern kingdom. And in prophecy they get labelled as the house of Israel and the house of Judah. So the northern kingdom, the house of Israel, in 2 Kings 17, they started doing exactly what Jehovah mentioned in Jeremiah 10. They went the way of the heathen. They went into the forest, they cut down a tree, they brought it into their house and they decorated it with silver and gold. And they also went one stage further. They would carve little images into what they called an Ashtoreth pole. But it's all the same thing, it's all tree worship. And that tree worship is heavily rooted in child sacrifice. That's what they used to do. And it's connected to Easter as well, when they would dip the eggs in the children's blood that they just sacrificed. Jehovah hates that stuff. In any form of it. You can call it whatever you like, but there's the mistake that the northern kingdom made. And they got scattered into Assyria. And were dispersed in amongst the Gentiles, and they never returned. So Paul, in Romans 11, he warns you not to do what the natural branches did, to get divorced, to get cut out of that olive tree. He warned you. And what are we all doing? Exactly the same thing. And he's not happy about it. How quickly will he cut out the branches that have been grafted in? That's what he's explaining in Romans 11. And then in Ephesians 2, he said that when you were Gentiles, in times past, you were aliens from the Commonwealth of Israel, strangers from the covenants of promise, without hope and without God in the world. So in order to get into the kingdom, you have to be grafted in to Israel. You have to be grafted in. That's why when the Messiah came, he came to end sacrificial law, because the Gentiles were never under sacrificial law and had no access to the covenants of promise that Paul speaks about in Ephesians 2. And those two covenants are the 10 Commandments given at Horeb and the Noahide covenant given to Noah after the flood, which is eaten biblically clean. So in order to get grafted in to Israel, you have to be keeping those two covenants of promise, eating biblically clean, and keeping the 10 Commandments, especially Sabbath, dawn to dawn Saturday, to dawn on Saturday to dawn Sunday. That is God's mark between him and his people. And if you're not observing it, you haven't got the mark of God. In fact, I'll go a stage further to say John 14:15. The Messiah tells you, if you love me, keep my commandments. And I'll pray the Father, and he will send you a second comforter. So that's the deal. You keep the commandments, I'll pray to the Father, and he'll send you the second comforter, the Holy Spirit of truth. The first comforter is the Spirit of grace. And in Titus 2 it tells you it's given to all men, teaching you to deny ungodliness and to live righteously. Righteousness being the Ten Commandments is God's standard of righteousness. And it's his righteousness that he imputes to us if we're obedient. So if you're not keeping the Ten Commandments, including the seventh-day Sabbath, you haven't got the second comforter. It's as simple as that. There's no other way to slice it. And to make it even worse, you're still a Gentile. There's only 12 gates into the kingdom. Go read Revelation 21. It lists them. There's no Gentile gate. There's no Christian gate. There's no Catholic gate. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. And even there's been a couple of changes, but I'm not going to get into that here. And in Revelation 22 it tells you the only people that get into the kingdom is Israel. So you have to be grafted in. That's what Paul was explaining in Ephesians 2. So, keep the 10. Eat biblically clean. No pork, shellfish, none of that nonsense. They're all bottom feeders. If you do some ordinary research into them, you'll find that they're absolutely gross, full of toxins. And that's what's making everybody sick. You're eating parasites. So, keep the 10, eat clean, receive the Spirit of truth, get grafted into Israel. That's how you're saved.